Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Brian of the Brian Speaks on YouTube channel. Just wanted to throw a quick subject in, something I think I'm a couple of days late on already, but I still wanted to speak on it real quick. As you can see, I'm live and direct from on location from what I call the sound booth, aka my vehicle that I'm driving. But that's neither here nor there right now. I'm on break anyway. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about something that I noticed in the media, and something that I haven't really heard much conversation about, but I think the situation raised an interesting narrative. And as you are familiar with, or if you're not, what I usually do is I speak on a topic of a broad range, but I use a specific incident that's happened recently in the headlines to kind of use as a base of jumping into a broader topic. And today's topic I want to speak on is the Peter Liang situation. For those who are unfamiliar with the Peter Liang situation, this is the case of the Akai Gurley murder that happened in Brooklyn at the hands of an officer of Asian descent. His name is Peter Liang. Recently, he was, tried and convicted of manslaughter of Akai Gurley, and as recently as I think about a week and a half ago, the DA who actually pushed for the indictment and prosecuted and got this decision of justice towards the family of Akai has recently recanted his position of what he did and is now requesting that this officer serve no time. And now that is the headline that everyone is focusing on, which is, justifiable. Of course, you should be focusing on that. That's outrageous. First of all, I think that DA, from his name is escaping me right now, but I think what he did was completely derelict in his oath of being a prosecuting attorney. Like, he has completely betrayed his ethical code. I think he should either be summarily disbarred or just, fall on your own sword and go about your business and do something else, because you're clearly not serving the public equally as it applies to your ethical code. To seek justice for a family and then turn around and say, oh, well, I made a mistake. I don't think this guy should go to jail at all. What are you doing to the family and to the person who is no longer here? The level of disrespect in that is unbelievable. But anyway, my perspective on this case is something that I want to direct more towards the Asian community, not as a whole, but just the ones who have been in the news, pretty much since this whole thing has gone on. You've seen a lot of people within Asian communities protesting the whole situation of Peter Liang facing the charges that he faced and was convicted of. Now, I am not making this speaks on to disparage the Asian community. I am also going to be very honest in the sense that I am not familiar with the community thought process of the Asian community. So what I am speaking is just pretty much my own ignorance and wonderment, and just speaking from a perspective that I am seeing based on media portrayal and things that you're seeing on in other aspects of the news. It is not a personal thing towards Asian people on any level, and I am not going to assume nor accuse the Asian community of doing the things that I am going to speculate on. I am just basically going to explain something that I see as a perspective based on the information that's being put out there, and I just want to ask a particular kind of question. Now, a lot of the people within the Asian community are upset that he faced and was summarily, given the charges of manslaughter and now has to, serve the charges if the judge upholds this DA's recantation or whatever. But if everything goes as it's supposed to, the thing that I want to ask the people of the Asian community is, what exactly are you protesting? Are you protesting because the thing that has been explained is their issue, their anger, is that he is not being given the same, he's being mistreated unfairly by the legal system because white officers who have done similar things in similar circumstances have not faced what he has faced. Now, are you protesting the injustice of him as compared to white officers being given special treatment by the system? Or are you angry because one of yours did not get the same special treatment of, that white officers have gotten within the system? Basically what I'm saying is, are you looking for justice for Peter Liang, or are you looking for privilege? Are you mad because you did not get the same privilege afforded to white officers within the system? Because if it's about justice, then Peter Liang got exactly what he was supposed to have gotten by legal standards. In all legal theory, law enforcement theory, he got what every officer is supposed to get under similar circumstances. So again, that leads me to question your anger. Are you mad because he didn't get white privilege perks from being an officer? And are you angry that you are now of the awareness that you are not in the club as well? You're not in the white supremacy club, the systematic white privilege club. Is it one of those things where, because you don't really, in general, as far as a black person, I don't normally see too many Asian people speaking on things like Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. And it's not their obligation to. But now that you understand what it feels like to be given the shaft that other people don't get, is it just a thing where it's like, hey, we thought we were supposed to get the same privilege as you guys because we don't interfere with yours, we don't raise issues and cause beefs and stuff like that. We're just we're relaxed people, we're peaceful people, we stay out of that stuff, we stay neutral. So are you angry because you didn't get the same privilege afforded to these other people? Or are you completely of the thought that Peter Liang should not have been prosecuted for this at all? Either way, to me it speaks to something disquieting. It speaks to something that you're not really looking for justice. In my perspective of seeing it the way that it's being displayed, you are seeking privilege. You are not seeking justice, because had an officer done what he did to one of your people of your culture in the same circumstances, I don't think that you would be angry at the officer who did it and seeking some type of reversal of a penalty. I think you would be like, yeah, he got the justice that his family deserved. But being that this is a person that comes from your culture and you can relate to now you feel it on a personal level. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole, cattiness of saying, well, now you know how it feels and things like that. That's besides any point that I'm trying to make. The thing, like I said, that I am focusing on is that it doesn't seem like you're angry at the system. It seems like you're angry because the system didn't give you the same privilege as it gives white officers under similar circumstances. And if that is the case, then what are you really seeking? Are you just merely seeking privilege, or are you really about people's lives mattering? And I'm not just going to say black people. I'm just saying in general, people's lives matter. If would you have felt a way at all if this happened to somebody else who was not of your cultural background, but the same exact story happened? And I would really like to hear the perspectives of people of the Asian community on this, because again, I'll admit I'm speaking out of ignorance. I don't know the community thought process as it applies to the situation. I'm just going off of a perspective that is being presented. It could be media driven, it could be, but I would really like to hear the perspective of people of the Asian community who could maybe possibly enlighten me and enlighten those of us who will watch this video and possibly wonder the same thing. Because, are you really about equal justice for everybody? Because what you should be angry about is that other officers are not given the same exact treatment that he got, because that's exactly the treatment that he got under the law is exactly what officers should get when they do something exactly like what he did. And again, for people who are unfamiliar with the situation, this was an officer who was doing a vertical patrol in a project building, which is basically going up and down the staircase, and he had his gun out, for no reason at the time, and his gun accidentally fired and accidentally shot this man, Akai Gurley, who eventually died from his gunshot wound. Now, not only did you precipitate this man's death, you exacerbated it even further by not trying to give him life-saving treatment. You didn't try to give him CPR. You didn't try to revive him. So not only did you shoot him, you did not try to save him. So how is any of that outside of the legal realm of being punished? You are still criminally responsible for that man's unlawful death. Period. Now, it shouldn't matter what race of person you are, and it shouldn't matter if you are a cop that did that. You're still responsible for that man's death. You took a life. You took that man away from his family, his child, his wife, his spouse, everybody. You still have to be held accountable for that. But people are angry that he's being held accountable for that. Now, why is that? Please inquire. Please speak on it and let us all know, because I would really like to know. And again, it's not to start some kind of argument or anything like that. It's all about learning and being enlightened to something. Maybe you could teach us something, So please, if you're familiar with the Asian community or or a person of Asian culture, hey, come on. I welcome you, and I would really like to know. So with that being said, everybody bless up. About time for me to get back on my runs. Take it easy. 1.